Price it right or pay the price. One number can make you thousands or cost you thousands. Let's talk about pricing your home right. This information is specifically for homes in Winter Springs, one of Orlando's most desirable suburbs, but it also applies to homes throughout Central Florida. If you're thinking of selling your home this spring selling season, it's most likely because you have definitely decided to truly sell your home and not just test the market. And if that is in fact true, then these are the things you need to do to get top dollar and actually sell your home before the spring selling season ends, which is somewhere around the first or second week in August. You've got a window. Let's make sure you use it wisely. Hi, my name is Evelyn Malave, broker associate with LPT Realty, and I've been selling homes right here in Winter Springs and throughout Central Florida since 1989. I have lived through every market this region has thrown at me. The boom years, the crash years, the pandemic frenzy market, and now this. And that experience is exactly what I bring to every single one of my clients. So let's talk about what's really happening right now in Winter Springs, one of Orlando's most desirable suburbs. Here's a snapshot of today's Winter Springs market for single-family homes with a two-car garage or larger. There are currently 72 active single-family homes, and I've broken them down into two categories to give you a clearer picture. We currently have 46 active single-family homes without pools on the market. The median asking price is $454,000 or about $243 a square foot. And these homes are sitting on the market a median of 42 days. And we currently have 26 active homes under $1 million with their own pool, and the median asking price is $608,000. That's about $269 a square foot, with median days on the market being 40. Homes are taking longer to sell than they were just a year or two ago. If you're thinking about selling, understanding where your home fits in today's market is more important than ever. Now, that does not mean that the market is bad. It only means that the market has normalized. We've moved away from the market frenzy of 2021, where homes were selling in 48 hours with multiple offers and way over asking price, and interest rates were at about 2.5%. Those days are behind us for now. And sellers who are still mentally anchored to those peak values are the ones who are still struggling today. Buyers today have options. They are taking their time, and that changes everything about how you need to approach the sale of your home. This brings me to the single most important thing I need every home seller in Winter Springs and throughout Central Florida to hear today. You must price your home correctly from day one. I cannot stress this enough. After 36 years in business, I have seen what happens when sellers overpriced. The home sits. Days on the market start climbing. Buyers assume there is something wrong with it. And then you end up doing price reductions, which actually attract less attention, not more, because buyers see a price cut and they wonder, why did no one else want your home? Right now, across Central Florida, price reductions are increasingly common because sellers priced based on what their neighbors got in 2021 and 2022. That was a different market, a completely different market. The strategy that wins in this market is coming out strong. Price correctly in the first 2 weeks, because that is when you get the most buyer traffic, the most online views, and your best shot at a clean and strong offer. After that window closes, you're fighting an uphill battle. I do a thorough, honest, comprehensive market analysis for every seller I work with. Not to tell you what you want to hear, but to tell you what the market will actually pay based on current data. That's the number that matters. Now let me tell you something that is affecting buyer behavior right now, and sellers need to understand this too, and that is interest rate instability. At the start of 2026, rates were trending downward and buyers' confidence was starting to pick up. Then rates reversed course, and that back and forth made buyers nervous. Markets don't like instability, and neither do buyers when they're trying to lock in a payment they can live with for the next 30 years. Buyers walking through your home today are not just dealing with interest rate instability, they are also feeling the inflation squeeze every single week at the grocery store and at the gas pump. They are watching all the headlines about artificial intelligence moving into their job, and they are quietly asking themselves, is my job next? The fear is real, and it is sitting in the back of their mind during every viewing. A 30-year mortgage feels like an anchor to a buyer who is not sure where life is taking them. If their company will downsize, will they have to relocate? If anything shifts, they want to know they have flexibility to move. That hesitation does not mean they do not want to buy. It means the home they choose has to feel worth it. Move-in ready, fairly priced, and one less thing they would have to worry about in a world that feels so uncertain to them. What does this mean for you as a seller? It means your buyer pool may be slightly smaller than you expect. Some buyers who need to purchase are sitting on the sidelines waiting for rates to settle. Others are stretching their budget and need every concession they can get. This is why your pricing strategy and your negotiation approach has to be sharp. And it's also why working with an experienced agent matters more than ever. I have negotiated through high rate markets and low rate markets, the housing recession of 2008 and everything in between. I know how to structure a deal that works for both sides and actually make it to the closing table. Now here is the good news, and there is some good news. Not every home is sitting. There are homes selling quickly and for strong prices right here in Winter Springs and throughout Central Florida. So what do they have in common? Today's buyers are not looking for a project. They want a home that is ready. If your kitchen has been updated, your bathrooms are fresh, your floorings are new, your HVAC system has been serviced and is under 9 years old, and your roof is under 9 years old with no damage, that is a meaningful competitive advantage in this market. The heavy lifting has already been done. That matters to buyers, it matters to their lenders, and it matters to insurance companies too. Winter Springs sits in Seminole County, which has one of the strongest school systems in the entire state of Florida. If your home feeds into a sought-after school zone, that is absolutely a part of your marketing story. Before you list your home, let's have an honest conversation about whether there are any strategic improvements that make financial sense for your specific home and price point. Sometimes a small investment before listing produces a significantly higher return. Sometimes the home is ready as is, and I'll give you that guidance based on experience, not guesswork. Here is the bottom line for Winter Springs sellers this spring. The window is open, but it is now wide open. You have until approximately the second week in August before buyer activity begins to slow with the end of the traditional spring selling season. That means if you're serious about selling, the time to act is now, not next month, not after one more improvement project, not when interest rates come back down. Now is the time to get your strategy right. Price it correctly and put your home in front of motivated buyers who are actually looking today. I'm Evelyn Malave, broker associate with LPT Realty. I have been selling homes in Winter Springs and throughout Central Florida since 1989. I have helped sellers navigate every kind of market you can imagine. And I would love to help you navigate this one. If you're thinking about selling your home in Winter Springs or anywhere in Central Florida, reach out to me directly. Let's have a real conversation about your home, your goals, and your timeline with no pressure and no obligation. And if you found this information helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and share it with someone who you know is thinking of relocating. Thank you for coming back to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.